Is it Jermaine Burton time in Cincinnati? Hear what Joe Burrow had to say when he went out of his way to praise the Bengals rookie and how that aligns with what Jamar Chase had to say last week. Plus, you'll hear from Jermaine himself right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Is there Jermaine breakout coming? Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the 47,000 plus that subscribe to Cincinnati Bengals Talk, and make sure you get to Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. The Monday night game is almost here, which is why you got to check out Rivertown Inquiry, because you can get all of the orange and black gear that you can think of. Maybe you're looking for some FC Cincinnati gear. Maybe even though the Reds are struggling, you're looking for that, or Bearcats gear. You got to get to rivertowninquiry.com. Anywhere in the country, you want some Rivertown Inquiry gear or some Cincinnati gear, you got to get to Rivertown Inquiry. They have two locations, Oakley and Findlay Market, so check them out. And let's get to Jermaine Burton. And by the way, Rivertown Inquiry, they have a new Money Mac shirt. Check that one out too. Let's get to Jermaine Burton, though, because we've talked a lot about Jermaine Burton, and he's been the topic of plenty of videos, chatter, discussion since the Bengals drafted him in the third round in April's draft, the 80th overall pick, and his talent is undeniable. Let's start there. His first NFL catch goes for 47 yards. He can push the field and stretch the field, rather. And if you're Joe Burrow, you got to love that. And what I love is the message from the Bengals stars. The message from the Bengals stars about Jermaine Burton. Before we get to what Joe Burrow said about Burton on Thursday, this is what Jamar Chase had to say about Burton last week before he made the 47-yard catch against the Chiefs.
I feel like Jermaine has made a big, tremendous jump on just knowing his plays, knowing where he need to be, knowing what he's used for, and a sign of detail.
You complimented Jermaine earlier. How have you seen him grow specifically over the past few months?
Just playbook-wise, knowing where he needs to go, what he needs to do, knowing his role in the offense is the biggest thing. And, finally getting able to get a chance. You know what I'm saying? There's no bigger chance than right now.
So maybe you've heard that clip. Maybe you haven't. Now you have. But Jamar Chase says that, then Burton goes out there, makes a big play on the road at Arrowhead in a huge game, huge moment, helps the Bengals take the lead. And in a big response by the Bengals to do that in a back-and-forth game that went down to the wire. And so big stage, big moment, Burton delivers, 47 yards. Fast forward to Thursday. Eric All obviously was a huge part of their game plan against Kansas City. Eric All has been impressive. Joe Burrow praising Eric All when asked about Eric All. But what I think is really interesting here is when asked about All, he praises him. And then I follow up and essentially ask Joe how unique All is as a rookie. And he goes from that to praising Jermaine Burton, going out of his way to praise the Bengals rookie wide receiver. Here's the full exchange. It's about a minute long, and I think it's really noteworthy.
Yeah, he just gets better. He does nothing but work hard and improve and learn from his mistakes and continue to get better every day. That's what you want out of a young player. He's got all the physical tools. He's big, fast, strong, catches it really well. And he's continuing to understand what we're trying to do with concept and scheme. So I'm excited about his future.
How unique is that for a rookie too? Zach described it as you guys, the coaches keep putting stuff on his plate, and he just is able to absorb it. How unique is that for a rookie to do?
I would say that's very unique. And we have two guys on offense that are continuing to get really a lot better for us in Eric and Jermaine. And then, whenever Mims comes back, you see him on the field some. So we have some rookies that we're counting on this year that have made some big plays for us so far and are going to continue to get better and find their role.
How has Jermaine shown that over the past few weeks?
Yeah, he's gotten exponentially better over the last 3 weeks, I would say. You saw him make a big play on Sunday for us. He's going to continue to carve out his role, and he continues to have good practices. So the more he does that and the more he learns, the more you're going to see him.
Joe Burrow doesn't just do that for his health. He's not just doing that and throwing out compliments to throw out compliments. This is real progress now. You have the two biggest stars in the building, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, within the past week, praising Jermaine Burton, sandwiched in between a 47-yard catch. he's doing the right things. He's growing as a player. He's clearly understanding the playbook more, understanding what his role is going to be, what they need him to do. And that is huge, 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 huge. Because when they drafted Jermaine Burton, I know a lot of people thought, oh, well, that's wide receiver 3. All offseason, I've kind of thought that it could be a committee and will be a committee. And the beauty of having Burton is he does something that really outside of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you don't have. And that's a field stretcher. That's a guy that's really going to push the defense back and make the defense account for him. Jamar Chase does that, of course. T. Higgins puts fear in defenses. You need another guy that can do that. In Burton, you put him on the outside, you put Jamar Chase in the slot, you have T. Higgins on the other side. On paper, you love it, right? Well, you need Burton to be ready. And I think part of the growing process has been the past month and a half, where he's learning the playbook. He's learning how to handle all of the ins and outs that come with being an NFL wide receiver, from special teams meetings that rookies have to go through, to all of the meeting time in general, all of the on-field stuff. Like, a lot of attention to detail is required, and that's something Jermaine Burton reflected on when asked about Burrow, praising him. Here's Jermaine following Burrow's praise when we asked about it on Thursday.
I feel like I've done a better job on paying attention to close detail, and just giving my best foot forward, bro. Because every opportunity that comes, it might not come back around if you don't make it. So I took that really serious, and I just hope to keep going.
He was asked about Eric All, full disclosure, and he went out of his way and singled you out as well as someone that's impressed him. I know you haven't heard what he said, but just knowing that you're impressing Joe, I'm sure that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest goal. As long as he's happy, bro, I'm happy, and I love coming to work with these guys every day. Everybody in this building, I appreciate everybody. They treat me with a lot of respect, and I feel like I'm in a perfect spot. I feel like I'm in a perfect place, and I love how we're progressing right now.
You love to see it, because the last thing you wanted is for Jermaine Burton to end up in the Joe Burrow doghouse. And I'm not saying that that's a real thing, but you don't want the trust to go completely out the window. And what I think Jermaine has done over the past few weeks clearly has pushed to earn trust and continues to push. And it's a really good sign that he did the right things in Kansas City. It's a really good sign that Jamar Chase praised him and then Burton answered the bell. It's a good sign that Burrow, when asked about Eric All, praises Jermaine Burton. And so the trajectory now appears to be going up. And that's what you want. It very rarely is it going to go straight up, even though that would be exactly how Burrow described it. And maybe that's it. Maybe he just, boom, it clicks and he just goes. But even if it's gradual, you take that. Because Jermaine Burton doesn't have to be a star on this team this season, but he does need to be a piece, a contributor, a factor, a member of the team that opposing defensive coordinators have to account for, have to think about. Safeties have to account for, have to think about, corners, etc. And I think he's on his way to doing that. That's the point of this video, is the breakout feels like it's coming. And breakout is relative. Jermaine Burton may only finish with 25 catches this year. But if he finishes with 25 catches and is averaging 17, 18, 19, 20 yards per catch, you take that. And that's the beauty of this offense, is that's a huge role. It may sound, 25 catches. Yeah, but if you end up with 25 catches, you're averaging 17 yards per catch, 18 yards per catch, you have 3 or 4 touchdowns. That is a big, big piece in this offense. And I do think that's the type of skill set, the type of level of play the Bengals could get out of Jermaine Burton, is someone that complements their other weapons very, very well, opens it up for other weapons. And then when you don't account for them, when you get lost trying to pay attention to Jamar, pay attention to anyone else, boom, there he is, number 81, making big plays downfield. We'll see if it continues, but I think the trajectory, it's encouraging. You need it to continue. And who knows, maybe he'll catch a couple deep balls on Monday night against the Washington secondary. That is certainly beatable. We're going to have more on the Washington matchup, what I'll be watching for in a prediction. That's going to drop Saturday. And make sure you check out all of our videos, injury updates, Joe Burrow, Enter the Jungle was really, really fun this week. a ton for you each and every week here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. And then do me a favor. Obviously, support our sponsors. It's huge for us, whether it's Data Guru, BetUS, Rivertown Inquiry. Also, though, tell a Bengals fan today about Cincinnati Bengals Talk, because there are plenty of Bengals fans out there that don't subscribe, that probably don't know who we are. And we're trying to grow. We're trying to get to as many Bengals fans as we can to bring you the best news on YouTube. So please, please, please support the channel any way you can and tell a Bengals fan about us today. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.